Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. After weeks of planning and plotting our route through France, we're finally on our way, booking individual apartments, ferries, the tunnel. We're finally now boarding the tunnel and on our way to France for a big adventure. Plan is to go all the way down to Bordeaux, come back through Giverny, home of Claude Monet, and take as many cities and towns as we can in 9 days. So hope you enjoy the journey. This is just a snapshot. We will be doing individual videos of each place just so we can give those that are interested a little bit more detail of the places we stayed, all of which were fascinating and historic. The tunnel is such an easy and trouble-free way of travelling. I would highly recommend it. No hassle at all. The first stop, this is day one, will be to Honfleur, famous port town on the northern coast of France. Beautiful town on the harbour front. We stayed here in a little apartment, and this cathedral here is built by the shipbuilders, and as you can see from the roof, this was made basically mimicking the hull of a ship, but we'll give more information on the full video which will follow. This is a beautiful cathedral, completely different to the rest you'll see in France. Now we're travelling down to Mont Saint-Michel. As you can see by the clouds, the weather in the north of France wasn't too good. This is in early September. Blowing a right gale. The forecast says it's 50-50 chance of rain. As you can see, I'm 50% dry, 50% wet. I'm not sure if that's what they meant. But even in these conditions, Mont Saint-Michel was a fascinating place to see. A little bit more commercialised than we expected, but the actual monastery itself was well worth paying to go and see. You'll notice as well how blustery it is and how windy, and also now as we travel down to La Rochelle, the roads are absolutely clear, no traffic at all. Makes travelling through France so much easier than we expected. La Rochelle is a fascinating little port town. We came across this graffiti park, which was really interesting, probably a little bit off the beaten track, but well worth a visit, just see the artwork. But La Rochelle was probably more famous for the Twin Towers as you enter the harbour. Always time for a coffee. But again, we'll show more of this beautiful town in one of our future videos, which we hope you'll join us on, and it's a fascinating little place. Now day 4, we're travelling all the way down to Bordeaux, and we stayed here for 2 nights, so we spent an afternoon and a full day there. Again, I'm not a big city person myself, but Bordeaux is a fascinating city. Beautiful city, very clean. The tramways has just taken away all the traffic, made it so easy to get around and navigate. As you can see, the centre of the city is just untouched from centuries ago, and the buildings are absolutely fascinating. This is the famous mirror installation. That's the Governor's Palace at the background. But again, it's so much fantastic buildings and history there to see, again, which we will cover in a future video. Day 6 now, and we're on to the historic town of Périgueux. Again, another fascinating town, city. This one's got a load of Roman ruins that it's more of a lot older than Bordeaux. Again, untouched, and this is the beauty of these French cities and French towns, that they're totally unspoilt, very pedestrianised, and it's a pleasure to walk around. Really love what we've seen so far. And again, we'll go into more detail on a future video on Périgueux, but there's so much to see here. It's actually a wonderful place. That was the old cathedral. Now we're driving again. As you can see, the roads are absolutely clear. Makes, you know, if ever you're thinking of driving through France, we travelled, covered so many miles, but it wasn't tiring at all. We did keep it a steady 60. But from Périgueux we travelled to the La Cels caves, which is where the famous cave paintings are. We tagged onto a French tour, so I couldn't understand the word they said, but this is the museum. We couldn't take video in the caves itself, but this just gives you a flavour of what you'll see, and it is really fascinating to see this. Then we drove on to Orleans, which is our 7th destination of the tour. By the time we'd finished with La Cels and travelled the distance to Orleans, as you can see, these are the streets we had to drive around to find our accommodation, and we just got lost. By the time we got there, it was very late in the day, and unfortunately we had a quick walk up to Orleans in the evening, and it does look like a really nice city, but we just didn't have time to do any filming or to spend any time there, as we had to get up and travel early in the morning. But it's a fantastic little city, probably a place we'll go back to one day. You can see where New Orleans got a lot of its influence from as well. Well worth a visit. Our apartment is just that building on the left there, with 3 windows in the door, which was really nice. Now we're travelling on up to Giverny. This is the home of Claude Monet, the famous Impressionist artist. One of the places I've been looking forward to seeing. And again, it's a beautiful day. It wasn't in the north, but down south the weather was really good. Any of the art lovers out there will notice these are all the scenes that Monet painted from his garden in his later years. And again, this studio is replicated, so these are replica paintings of that picture there, how he left his studio shortly after he died. And can you imagine, all these priceless works of art were just sitting there unsold. Nobody wanted them at the time, just piled up, probably come back from dealers or exhibitions, and he couldn't sell them. It's just crazy to think nowadays they're worth the price of a hospital wing, as a famous song said. The gardens here, you can see this is several of his paintings, the archways as he looks up to the house, and then the famous lily ponds. Probably what he's most famous for commercially is his paintings of lilies. Well, this is where they were all done. Another famous lily there, My Lily, looking gorgeous. Get good brownie points for that, I'm sure. And also the state of the scene back in the days. These are Paul Cézanne paintings, and again, Paul Cézanne couldn't really sell all his art when he was alive, and Monet would just buy them, or they were given or exchanged between each other, and these are actually priceless. Again, it's just crazy to think that the amount of paintings in there are the value of a small country. Here now we're travelling on to Amiens, where we're going to stay for the last night of our tour. This was just booked as a stop off as we came up to Calais, and we were really surprised. The cathedral here was probably the most outstanding cathedral we've seen in France. The architecture is amazing, the statues and the carvings above the doorways was actually breathtaking. It's well worth coming to Amiens for a stop off. This was the last night, so we treated ourselves to a local beer, and we just sat here for the evening, watched the sun go down, and just reflected back on what a manic tour it was. Every day we was travelling on to the next destination, but it was well worth it. It was fascinating and really, really enjoyable. Again, it's worth the roads just made it so much easier. There's no congestion, so easy to navigate. And now as we're going back on day 9, catch the ferry back. This is so that we got the tunnel over here and the ferry back. Lillian hadn't been on either, so it's a good experience. for that, and I was very surprised. I've been on the ferry a few times, but not since several years ago, but this ferry was really well appointed, really comfortable. It was really surprising how well it was appointed, and really enjoyed the crossing back. It was longer than the tunnel, probably an hour and a half in total, but it was relaxing and probably takes you back to the good old days when time wasn't really of the essence and you could just enjoy a cruise across the channel. But yeah, it was a wonderful crossing. Sea was calm and the weather was beautiful. We hope you've enjoyed joining us on this adventure. Like I say, each of the towns we've been to will be putting on a full-length video for those that want to see more of those cities and towns, and hopefully you'll join us on those. And again, just get out there, enjoy life, see what you can see. There's so much to see, and we hope you'll join us again. For those that are interested, this is our original video. This is the video we first started all off with, just to post so that friends can see what we're up to and family. But it was a really nice trip. If anyone's wondered what a gondola ride in Venice is like, then go to the link below, and hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.